Welcome. My name is Rick Lent. I help leaders with the meetings that they have to run and they need to run more effectively. I do that by coaching them on the structure they can use for those meetings. Structure enables any leader to run a much more effective meeting. I've written a book about this called Leading Great Meetings, How to Structure Yours for Success. This video shares some of the ideas from that book. So I want to begin with a secret to how many meetings can work well that most of us don't see. I've helped many leaders with meeting challenges. Over time, I realized that what I did to improve the meeting was something they could have changed on their own, but they didn't see what I saw as an opportunity for improvement. In one case, I was approached after a meeting by a participant and local business leader who asked me why things had gone so well. When I asked him what he'd observed, he explained that he noticed the different way the meeting room and discussions were organized, but he thought we'd made creative use of a difficult meeting space. When I explained that none of this was accidental and all of it was done to create a more productive discussion, I saw the smile begin to spread on his face. He said, "I can see it now, but I didn't see it then." What I changed was the structure. All meetings have a structure, but most of the time we give it little attention. It's invisible to many people, yet it's in plain sight and easy to use to serve the work of your meeting. Structure affects behavior. Make it work for you. Here's what I mean. Consider how many people you have in a typical team meeting. Are there more than 7 or 8? If so, I bet you have trouble keeping everyone fully engaged. Why? Because with more than 7 or 8, participants know intuitively they will have little opportunity to share their thoughts. So those with the most need to speak use the airtime, while others sit back. This is the impact of a structure set up by group size. I'll show you how to use a more effective structure for any size meeting. And here's another example of the impact of structure. Think about the differences between a discussion held around a rectangular table in some meeting room and the same discussion held over lunch in the company cafeteria. The physical changes of who sits where, the act of sharing food, and so on are shaping a different exchange of ideas. And here's one more way to see what I mean. Meeting structure is like the framing of a house. The frame shapes how the house will function, but you can't see the framing once the house is finished and people are living in it. Meeting structure refers to various physical, timing, and procedural variables that influence how people talk together. The right structure naturally supports more effective behaviors and leads to productive use of participant time and expertise. It is subtle but powerful. So how do you work with meeting structure? Here are 3 structural changes you can make to your meetings to improve the quality, efficiency, and outcomes of the work you need to do. First, engage participants in small group conversation before any whole group conversation to balance contributions and use time efficiently. You can do this quickly and easily with any size group without changing rooms or seats, following a process I call 1-2-all. Which goes like this. 1. Individual reflection. After introducing the question or topic for consideration, give individuals a minute or 2 to gather their own thoughts. This is the 1 of the tool. 2. Small group discussion. Next, ask participants to turn to their neighbors to form small 2 to 3 person groups to share their ideas. And all, you report back to the whole group. Ask each group to briefly report on key points from their small group discussion. Further discussion follows once everyone has heard from the small groups. When you want to implement 1-to-all, just begin it. You don't have to explain it in advance. It is a natural set of steps. Second suggestion, asking a different kind of question to get feedback. I recommend you ask for positive reactions or input to some subject separately and first before turning to questions and concerns. In another video, I introduce a process I call 3 reaction questions to do just this. Third suggestion, changing the seating to change interaction. Finally, I want to emphasize the importance of seating and room arrangements. Try to use a circular table if you can. With a circular table, there is no head and everyone can see each other. A square table can work too. And you may want to change your own seat from time to time at any table to change up how people unconsciously arrange themselves relative to you as the leader. Where people sit and around what kind of table can really affect the quality of a meeting. Here's an example of structure in action. I once helped this CEO lead a discussion with the executive team and key managers from a division that was facing restructuring. She really wanted to engage all in exploring options and having input to the final decisions. There would be about 20 people present, and there would be 3 to 4 layers of authority in the room. Some people did not talk easily with others given history and responsibilities. We were going to meet in the boardroom, a room with a huge, long, rectangular table. We couldn't remove the table, too big and heavy. Instead, we shifted it to one side and set up 3 circles of chairs, each with a flip chart. The senior execs were divided among the 3 circles, as were the managers. The subsequent discussion was rich and creative. At the end of the meeting, several people expressed their pleasant surprise at how productive and even pleasant an otherwise difficult conversation could be. There are many more ways you can use structure to create much more effective meetings. You have 12 basic choices for planning, conducting, and following up on your meetings using various structural techniques. For more ideas and suggestions, you can see my blog posts at Meeting for Results, or for a complete guide, see my book, Leading Great Meetings, How to Structure Yours for Success. Good luck with your meetings.